Good morning and welcome to the video for 6th grade for Module 4, Lesson 5 from Into Math. This is Mr. Parks, the math teacher at Risen Christ Lutheran School. Today we're going to be doing our final lesson of the module. We are going to be doing anything and everything using decimals. So we might be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. It will be up to the students to read closely and underline problems or parts of the problem that will help them figure out what we are doing. So I will give some hints and suggestions along the way, and this is also the video that I'm going to be talking through some of the homework problems to give an idea of what we're working with. So we'll go ahead and do a few of these problems to start with real quick. And so for our first problem, we are going to be taking an estimate, and it says to estimate the product by rounding each number to the nearest whole number. So 3.5 is going to round up to 4. Our dollar amount is going to round up to $2 per pound, and so our estimate would be $8. And then I believe they're going to go ahead and find the exact amount. So we are going to do 3.5 times $1.79. So we would actually work this out here. And so one important thing that I occasionally see students mess up on, it really doesn't matter to line things up. I usually do it like this, so I leave a little bit of a space. And so I'm trying to line up, if I were to line up columns, the 1 would go by itself, the decimal point and the 3 would be together, the 7 and the other decimal point would be together, and the 9 and 5 would be together. We don't do anything with the decimal point until we are finished with the problem. So we are going to have two numbers for our bottom factor, so we should have 2 rows that we add before we put the decimal point in. If we try to do that beforehand, we may end up with a weird answer. So we get 45, carry the 4, we get 39, and 8, and 0, 27, 23, and 5. So now would be the point. We need 1, 2, 3 places, 1, 2, 3, counting from the right-hand side of the number. Here's where our decimal point is going to go. We get 5, 16, 12, and 6. So we need to round our answer to the nearest cent, it says here. So we are going to end up with $6.27. Let's take a look at number 2. Tavon hikes 6 1/10 miles in 2.5 hours. Says we can subtract these two numbers. So the error, if you want to go ahead and find that out for yourself, go ahead and pause the video real quick. Otherwise, go ahead and stay with me. The error, we are not going to subtract. We want to go ahead and divide that. The expression that we would use is going to be 6.1 divided by 2.5. And then to do that, just like yesterday's lesson, we are going to need to move our decimal point when we are finished setting this up over one place to the right for each number. We write our decimal point in and then write it up top. We would end up with 2 hours and whatever our remainder is. So we have a remainder of 11 when we're done. So we could say 2 and 11/25. And in 6th grade, we should probably go ahead and include the remainder as part of a fraction, unless it just asks for a whole number. Let's take a look at a couple more problems and see what we might be doing. So I'm just going to look at these really quick. So for cost per ounce for this, we are going to be dividing by 12. For this one, we are going to figure out if the table and tank will fit, if we have to stack these two things together. So we are going to add these two numbers, and then our second step, we are going to compare to 157 and 1600. So we would need to add these two numbers and subtract from 157.16. The mass per gram, per piece, sorry. Um, we're going to add these two values together to find the total mass, since brass is a combination of copper and zinc. For this one, we would need to subtract. For number 4, we're going to take our ending temperature, subtract our starting temperature to find the difference. Let's go ahead and look at a couple problems on our homework. Oh wait, no, these are for homework. So I'm actually, that's great. So those are a couple examples that we're working with, what type of problem we're doing. Of course, your student will need to go ahead and work those problems. On the back, I'm telling parents and students, don't spend more than 2 minutes on any of these problems, especially the ones that are multiple choice. We're not using our time effectively if we're spending 5-10 minutes trying to find some of these. They are not any more difficult than some of the other problems that we're working on. So hopefully, other than just like working with multiplication or division, trying to work it out, again, it should take 2 minutes or less to do these. And then for these, again, our steps for dividing with a fraction, we need to rewrite it as a multiplication problem. So our first step for this might look like this. And then you would keep going, and then you would reduce by changing our answer or our product into a mixed number. So we would use division to help us. I'm not going to give you the numbers for that because that would pretty much be feeding you the answer for my students at home. So sorry, not going to do that. We are going to compare both of these. So we would be using subtraction. If we're using subtraction for this, we need to find an equivalent fraction for 5/6 and 7/12. So you might be able to change this one to make it into parts over 12, and that would give you something that you could compare. And then you could figure out which side, the state fair or the lemonade or the lemon ice uses a larger amount of lemons. So those are some examples from the homework and how we could go ahead and do those. Hopefully the extra couple minutes is helpful for you. If it is, please let me know. Give me a like on the video to let me know that you would like to see more of that type of thing in the future. I can start making the videos longer and talk through some of the homework questions to help students if that is helpful for everyone. You can also send me feedback by sending me an email or text for my Risen Christ students and their families. If you have any questions, please reach out to me the same way. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.